The giant hall was filled with angry voices. 12 different alien races sat around a massive table that floated in the middle of space. Each race looked different from the others. Some had scales, some had fur, and some looked like they were made of crystal. But they all had one thing in common today. They all hated humans. Ambassador Zethkar slammed his clawed hand on the table. His red eyes glowed with anger as he pointed at the image of Earth floating above them. The blue and green planet looked small and peaceful in the hologram. "Look at this pathetic world," Zethkar growled. His voice was deep and scary. "These humans think they can take our planets. They think they can explore space like they own it." Council Prime Veltara stood up. Her body was made of purple crystal that sparkled in the light. She was the leader of all 12 races. When she spoke, everyone listened. "The humans are babies," she said with a cold voice. "They only learned to travel between stars 50 years ago. We have been ruling space for thousands of years." The other aliens nodded and made angry sounds. Some hissed, some roared, and some made clicking noises. They were all upset about the same thing. Humans had been spreading across the galaxy too fast. In just 50 years, they had built colonies on dozens of planets. They had claimed star systems that the alien races wanted for themselves. "Their longest war was only 6 years long," laughed another alien. "This one looked like a giant insect with 4 arms. We have fought wars that lasted centuries. What do they know about real fighting?" Veltara waved her crystal hand and the image of Earth changed. Now it showed human spaceships flying between planets. The ships looked small and simple compared to the massive alien vessels. "Count their fleet," Veltara ordered. The hologram showed numbers above each human ship. 73 ships total. "That is their entire space navy." The aliens laughed harder. Some of them had more ships than that just for protecting one planet. "We will crush them like insects," said Zethkar. "Then we will take their planets and make the humans work in our mines." One alien voice spoke up from the back. It was soft and worried. "Maybe we should try talking to them first. The humans might listen to reason." All the other aliens turned to look at the speaker. It was Ambassador Kethril from the Meridian race. The Meridians were known for being peaceful. They had blue skin and large eyes that looked sad. "Talking?" Zethkar snarled. "These humans are like wild animals. You cannot talk to wild animals. You must cage them or kill them." Veltara raised her hand for silence. "We will vote now. All who agree to invade Earth and conquer the humans, raise your hand." 11 hands went up immediately. Only the Meridian ambassador kept his hand down. "The vote is decided," Veltara announced. "We will gather our fleets and attack Earth. The humans will surrender or die." Far away from the alien council meeting, Commander Jake Morrison sat in a small space station at the edge of human territory. His job was to watch for alien ships with long-range sensors. The sensors could detect ships very far away even before they entered human space. Jake was drinking coffee and reading reports when his computer started beeping loudly. Red lights flashed on his control panel. He put down his coffee and looked at the screen. What he saw made his blood run cold. Thousands of alien ships were moving toward Earth. They were coming from 12 different directions, but they were all heading for the same place: the human homeworld. Jake's hands shook as he sent an emergency message to Earth. The message would take several hours to reach home, but he had to warn them. The biggest alien fleet in galactic history was coming to destroy humanity. On Earth, Admiral Lisa Carter was having a normal day until Jake's message arrived. She was in her office at Earth Defense Command, going through daily reports. Her assistant knocked on the door and came in with a worried look. "Admiral, we have an urgent message from Commander Morrison at Station 7. Lisa took the message pad and read it. Her face went pale. She read it again to make sure she understood correctly. "Get me President Harris on the line immediately," she ordered. "Then call an emergency meeting of all fleet commanders." Within an hour, the most important people on Earth were gathered in a secret bunker deep underground. President Harris sat at the head of a long table. Admiral Carter stood next to a large screen showing the alien fleet movements. "How many ships are we facing?" President Harris asked. "Our best estimate is 3,000 vessels," Carter replied. "They represent 12 different alien races working together." The room was quiet for a moment. Everyone knew that humanity only had 73 combat ships. "What do we know about their technology?" asked General Brown, the head of Earth's ground forces. "Their ships are bigger than ours," Carter explained. "Their weapons are more advanced. Their shields are stronger. By every measure, they should be able to destroy us easily." "Should be," said President Harris. But we knew this day would come. We have been preparing for 50 years. Carter nodded. Every human colony has been built to be a fortress. Every ship we made was designed for war. Every person in space knows how to fight. How long until they reach Earth? The president asked. 6 days, maybe 7 if they stop to refuel. President Harris stood up and looked around the room. Gentlemen and ladies, for 50 years we have known that we were not alone in the galaxy. We always suspected that other races would not welcome us. That is why we prepared. The president walked to the window and looked up at the sky. Send word to all human colonies. Tell them the war we always knew was coming has finally started. Admiral Carter saluted. Yes, Mr. President. Should I send surrender terms to the alien fleet? President Harris turned back to her with steel in his eyes. Admiral, humans do not surrender. Send them this message. Earth is our home and we will defend it. As the alien fleet moved closer to Earth, they felt confident and proud. They had superior numbers, better technology, and thousands of years of experience. The humans were just children playing with toys. Soon, they thought, the humans would learn their place in the galaxy. Soon Earth would belong to its rightful masters. They had no idea what was waiting for them. The alien fleet appeared at the edge of the solar system like a dark cloud blocking out the stars. 3,000 ships of different shapes and sizes dropped out of hyperspace at the same time. The largest ships were as big as cities. The smallest were still twice the size of human destroyers. Commander Jake Morrison watched his sensors go crazy as the massive fleet materialized. He had never seen so many ships in one place. The aliens had arranged themselves in a perfect formation. It looked like they had done this many times before. On Earth, every defense station came alive with activity. Admiral Lisa Carter stood on the bridge of the ESS Defiance, humanity's biggest warship. Around her, crew members worked quickly to prepare for battle. Red warning lights flashed throughout the ship. Admiral, we are receiving a transmission from the alien fleet, reported Lieutenant Sam Rogers, the communications officer. Put it on the main screen, Carter ordered. The screen flickered and showed a face that made several crew members step backward. The alien had gray skin stretched tight over a skull-like head. Its eyes were completely black, and when it smiled, rows of sharp teeth were visible. Humans of Earth, the alien said in perfect English. I am Fleet Commander Draktul. You will surrender your world immediately. Your expansion into our space ends today. The alien's voice was cold and full of confidence. It continued speaking without waiting for a response. You have 1 hour to power down your weapons and prepare for occupation. Any resistance will be met with complete destruction. Your ships will be destroyed, your cities will be burned, and your people will be taken as slaves. Admiral Carter looked around her bridge. Her crew was young, but they had trained for this moment their entire lives. None of them looked scared. They looked angry. Open a channel, Carter commanded. Lieutenant Rogers nodded. Channel open, Admiral. Carter stepped forward so the alien commander could see her clearly. She wore her dress uniform with all her medals. Her gray hair was pulled back tightly, and her blue eyes were hard as steel. Fleet Commander Draktul, she began in a calm voice. This is Admiral Lisa Carter of the Earth Defense Fleet. You are in violation of human territorial space. You will turn your ships around and leave immediately. The alien commander's mouth opened in what might have been laughter. The sound that came out was like metal scraping against stone. Admiral Carter, you are either very brave or very stupid. Perhaps both. The alien gestured to something off-screen. You have 73 ships. We have 3,000. Even a primitive human should be able to understand those numbers. Before Carter could respond, another voice came through the transmission. This one belonged to a female alien made of purple crystal. Her voice was like wind chimes in a storm. I am Council Prime Veltara, the crystal being announced. I speak for the Galactic Council. Humanity has been judged unworthy of independence. You will submit to our authority or face extinction. Carter's expression did not change. She had expected this moment for decades. Council Prime Veltara, you have made a serious mistake coming here. Earth is under the protection of the human species. We do not submit to anyone. The crystal alien's form seemed to shimmer with amusement. Protection from what? Your pitiful fleet? Your primitive weapons? Humans learned to travel between stars only 50 years ago. We have been masters of space for millennia. Your arrogance will be your downfall, Carter replied simply. Both aliens laughed again. The sound echoed through the Defiance's bridge like the cry of hunting predators. Admiral, Draktul said, your species has had 2 world wars, several smaller conflicts, And your longest war lasted only 6 years. We have fought campaigns that lasted centuries. What could you possibly know about real warfare? Carter smiled for the first time since the conversation began. It was not a pleasant smile. Commander Draktul, you're about to find out exactly what humans know about warfare. She nodded to Lieutenant Rogers, who cut the transmission. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Then Carter turned to her crew. All hands, this is the Admiral, she announced over the ship's communication system. The alien fleet has demanded our surrender. I have declined their generous offer. A few crew members chuckled despite the tension. You all know what we are facing. Carter continued. Superior numbers, advanced technology, and thousands of years of combat experience. What they do not have is what makes us human. They do not have our determination. They do not have our adaptability. And they certainly do not have our refusal to give up. Captain Steve Walsh's voice came through the communications from his ship, the ESS Retribution. Admiral, all outer system defense platforms report ready for battle. Captain Rachel Moore confirms the asteroid belt stations are armed and waiting. Thank you, Captain Walsh, Carter replied. Signal all ships to take their assigned positions. Today we show the galaxy what happens when you threaten Earth. In the alien fleet, Fleet Commander Draktul and Council Prime Veltara watched the human ships begin to move. They expected to see the humans form a defensive line around Earth. That was what every other species had done when faced with overwhelming odds. Instead, the human ships scattered in all directions. What are they doing? Asked Veltara, her crystal form flickering with confusion. Perhaps they are running away, suggested Draktul. Their ships are smaller and faster than ours, but the humans were not running away. They were spreading out through the solar system, taking positions among the asteroids, behind moons, and near the gas giant planets. Some ships seemed to disappear entirely from the alien sensors. Captain Rachel Moore commanded the ESS Vengeance, hidden in the shadow of a large asteroid. Her ship's engines were powered down to minimum levels, making it almost invisible to alien scanners. Captain, whispered her tactical officer, Lieutenant Dan Foster, the aliens are moving into the inner system. They are maintaining their formation. Moore nodded. The aliens were fighting like they always fought. Big formations, overwhelming firepower, and the expectation that their enemies would meet them in open battle. Humans did not fight that way. Signal Admiral Carter. Moore ordered quietly. Tell her the trap is set. All ships are in position and ready. The alien fleet moved forward like a giant hammer, ready to crush the small human force. They had done this hundreds of times before against dozens of different species. It always ended the same way, but this time, they were not fighting a species that followed the old rules of space warfare. This time, they were fighting humans. Admiral Carter watched the alien fleet approach on her tactical display, 3,000 ships moving in perfect formation, confident in their superiority. All ships, she broadcast on the secure channel. Remember your training. Remember your families. Remember that Earth is counting on us. She paused and looked around her bridge one more time. Attack. The first shots of the war came from Captain Rachel Moore's ship, the ESS Vengeance. Hidden behind a large asteroid, she waited until the alien fleet was exactly where she wanted them. Then she fired everything she had. The aliens had expected energy weapons, lasers, plasma cannons, particle beams. That was what civilized species used in space combat. Instead, they faced something much more primitive and much more deadly. Railguns. The ESS Vengeance fired 12 massive steel projectiles at 20% of light speed. Each projectile weighed as much as a small car and carried enough explosive power to level a city block. The aliens' energy shields, designed to deflect laser fire, barely slowed the metal slugs down. 3 alien cruisers exploded before their commanders even realized they were under attack. Direct hits on targets Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, reported Lieutenant Dan Foster from his tactical station. All 3 ships destroyed. Captain Moore smiled grimly. Reload all tubes. Target the next group. Throughout the solar system, the same scene played out dozens of times. Human ships attacked from hiding places the aliens had not even considered. The asteroids, the moons, even the space between planets became ambush points. The aliens had superior technology, but humans had superior tactics. Fleet Commander Draktul watched in shock as his perfectly organized formation began to fall apart. Ships exploded without warning. His sensors could not track the human attackers. They appeared, fired, and disappeared again. How are they doing this? He demanded from his bridge crew. Sir, the humans are using kinetic weapons, reported his tactical officer. Solid projectiles fired at extreme velocity. Our shields are not designed to stop them. Kinetic weapons? Draktul snarled. Those are primitive. No civilized species has used kinetic weapons for thousands of years. Yes, sir, but they are very effective against our current defensive systems. On the ESS Defiance, Admiral Carter watched the battle unfold on her tactical display. Red dots representing alien ships began to disappear one by one. Green dots showing human ships moved like ghosts through the enemy formation. Admiral, called Captain Steve Walsh from the ESS Retribution, we have successfully ambushed their left flank. 15 enemy ships destroyed, no human losses. Excellent work, Captain, Carter replied. Continue hit-and-run attacks. Do not let them pin you down. The human strategy was simple but effective. Instead of meeting the aliens in a traditional battle, they used the entire solar system as their battlefield. Human ships would attack from one direction, destroy a few alien vessels, then retreat before the enemy could respond. By the time the aliens turned to face the attack, the humans were already gone. Commander Alex Turner piloted his destroyer, the ESS Lightning, through the alien formation like a shark swimming through a school of fish. His ship was smaller and faster than anything the aliens had. While their massive vessels tried to turn and track him, he slipped between them, firing at close range. Target their engines, Turner ordered his weapons officer. Cripple them. Do not waste time trying to destroy them completely. The Lightning's railgun spoke again, sending steel death into the engine sections of 2 alien battleships. Both ships lost power and began to drift helplessly through space. That is 2 more out of the fight, Turner reported. Moving to next target. But the aliens were not helpless. They had fought wars across the galaxy for thousands of years. After the first hour of battle, they began to adapt. Council Prime Veltara took direct command of the fleet. Her crystal form glowed brighter as she issued orders. All ships abandon formation. Break into smaller groups. Use your superior firepower to overwhelm individual human vessels. The alien fleet began to split up, with groups of ships moving to surround and destroy the human attackers. This was what they should have done from the beginning. Captain Moore found herself facing 5 alien cruisers at once. Her ship shook as energy beams and missile strikes hit her hull. The ESS Vengeance was tough, but it could not take that kind of punishment forever. Hull breach on Deck 7, reported her engineering officer. Shields down to 30%. Moore's ship was about to be destroyed when something unexpected happened. The damaged hull sections began to repair themselves. Captain, the engineering officer called out in amazement. The nanite repair systems are working perfectly. Hull integrity is back to 70% and rising. The alien commanders watched in disbelief as holes in the human ship's hull simply closed up. Damaged armor plating rebuilt itself. Broken weapon systems came back online. How is this possible? Demanded Fleet Commander Draktul. His science officer studied the readings. Sir, the humans appear to have microscopic robots throughout their ships. These robots repair damage as it occurs. Draktul felt a chill run through his body. Self-repairing ships were theoretical technology that his people had never mastered. Yet these primitive humans were using it in combat. The battle continued for hours. Human ships darted in and out of the alien formation, striking and vanishing like ghosts. Every time the aliens thought they had destroyed a human vessel, it would reappear with its damage repaired. Colonel Amy Peterson commanded the Mars Defense Platform, a massive weapons station hidden in the asteroid belt. Her platform carried enough firepower to destroy a small moon, but more importantly, it could manufacture its own ammunition. Target the alien command ship, she ordered her gunners. Full spread, armor-piercing rounds. The Mars platform fired a salvo of projectiles that lit up space like a meteor shower. Each round was the size of a telephone pole and moved fast enough to punch through the strongest armor. The alien flagship tried to dodge, but it was too big and too slow. Dozens of steel spears slammed into its hull, tearing through metal like paper. Fleet Commander Draktul felt his ship shake as the human projectiles hit home. Emergency lights flashed on his bridge and the smell of smoke filled the air. Damage report, he shouted. Hull breaches on multiple decks, came the reply. Engine power down to 60%. Weapon systems offline. For the first time since the battle began, Draktul felt real fear. His flagship, the pride of the alien fleet, had been crippled by a single salvo from the humans. "Sir," his communications officer reported, "we are receiving surrender demands from the human fleet." Draktol's face twisted with rage. Surrender demands? From humans? But as he looked at his tactical display, he saw the truth. His fleet of 3,000 ships had been reduced to less than 2,000 in just 6 hours of fighting. The humans had lost only 12 vessels. This was not how galactic conquest was supposed to work. Admiral Carter's voice came through the alien communication system, calm and professional. "Fleet Commander Draktol, this is your final warning. Withdraw your forces immediately, or we will continue this engagement until your entire fleet is destroyed." Draktol looked around his damaged bridge. His crew members stared at him with fear in their eyes. They had never faced an enemy like this before. "Admiral Carter," he transmitted back, "what kind of species are you? Your weapons are primitive. Your ships are small, yet you fight like demons." Carter's reply was simple and terrifying. "We are humans, Commander, and you made the mistake of threatening our home." Council Prime Veltara stood in the ruins of her command center, her crystal body flickering with stress fractures. Around her, holographic displays showed the devastating truth. In 8 hours of fighting, the mighty Galactic Council fleet had lost over 1,000 ships. The humans had lost only 18. "This is impossible," she whispered to herself. "We have superior technology. We have superior numbers. How are we losing?" Ambassador Zethkar limped onto the bridge, his arm hanging useless at his side. His flagship had taken a direct hit from human railguns and barely survived. "Prime, we must retreat," he gasped. "These humans fight like nothing we have ever seen before." Veltara turned her glowing eyes toward him. "Retreat? The Galactic Council has never retreated from primitives. These are not primitives," Zethkar shouted, then winced in pain. "Look at the reports. Their ships repair themselves during battle. Their weapons punch through our best shields like they are made of paper. Their tactics are unlike anything in our military databases." On the human side, Admiral Carter was receiving very different reports. Captain Rachel Moore's voice came through the communication system with barely controlled excitement. "Admiral, the alien fleet is in complete disarray. They have broken formation and are fighting as individual ships. Our coordinated attacks are devastating them." "Casualties?" Carter asked. "Light, ma'am. The ESS Courage took heavy damage but is already back in the fight thanks to nanite repairs. Engineering teams report all systems functioning normally." Carter nodded with satisfaction. 50 years of preparation were finally paying off. While the aliens had grown comfortable with their technological superiority, humanity had spent every day since achieving spaceflight getting ready for this exact scenario. Every human ship was built with one purpose: survive and win in space combat. Every system had multiple backups. Every crew member cross-trained on multiple positions. Every weapon designed to punch through alien defenses that relied too heavily on energy shields. Captain Steve Walsh guided his ship, the ESS Retribution, through a cloud of alien debris. His tactical officer, Lieutenant Mark Turner, tracked multiple enemy targets on his screens. "Captain, we have 6 alien destroyers trying to escape toward the outer system," Turner reported. "Not today," Walsh replied grimly. "Plot an intercept course. Signal the ESS Thunder and ESS Storm to join us." 3 human ships moved to block the alien escape route. The alien destroyers were faster than individual human vessels, but they could not outrun a coordinated wolfpack attack. The aliens opened fire first, their energy weapons lighting up space with deadly rainbows of color. But human ships had been designed to absorb that kind of punishment. Ablative armor boiled away under the energy barrage, but the ship's vital systems remained protected. The human response was swift and brutal. Railgun rounds tore through alien hulls while missile salvos overwhelmed their point defense systems. Within minutes, all 6 alien destroyers were either destroyed or drifting powerless in space. "This is ESS Retribution to all human vessels," Walsh broadcast. "Outer escape route is sealed. No alien ships will leave this system." The psychological impact on the alien fleet was enormous. They had come to conquer Earth expecting easy victory. Instead, they found themselves trapped in a battle they could not win against an enemy they did not understand. Commander Alex Turner's destroyer stalked another group of alien ships near Jupiter's moons. His crew had been fighting for 10 hours straight, but their morale remained high. Every successful attack against the invaders felt like a victory for all of humanity. "Sir," called his navigation officer. "We have found a group of alien supply ships trying to hide in Jupiter's radiation shadow." Turner smiled. Supply ships meant fuel, ammunition, and spare parts for the alien fleet. Destroying them would cripple the enemy's ability to continue fighting. "Take us in," he ordered. "Silent running. Let us give them a surprise they will never forget." The ESS Lightning drifted toward the alien supply convoy like a ghost. Its engines were powered down to minimum levels, making it nearly invisible to enemy sensors. The aliens thought they were safe in the radiation shadow of the giant planet. They were wrong. Turner's ship attacked without warning, its railguns speaking with deadly accuracy. 3 alien supply ships exploded in balls of fire and expanding gas. The 4th tried to escape but was caught by a spread of human missiles. "Supply convoy destroyed," Turner reported. "The aliens just lost a major portion of their logistics capability." Similar scenes played out throughout the solar system. Human ships working in small groups systematically hunted down and destroyed alien vessels. The invaders' numerical advantage meant nothing when they could not coordinate their forces effectively. Colonel Amy Peterson watched from her command post on the Mars defense platform as another wave of alien ships approached. These were different from the others. Larger, more heavily armed, and moving with purpose. "Ma'am," reported her tactical officer, "those appear to be alien elite guard ships. Intelligence suggests they are the personal escorts of high-ranking council members." Peterson studied the approaching vessels. They were magnificent in their deadly beauty, covered in exotic armor and bristling with advanced weapons. Under normal circumstances, they would be nearly unstoppable. But these were not normal circumstances. "Target the lead ship," Peterson ordered. "Load the special ammunition." The Mars platform's main gun was normally loaded with standard armor-piercing rounds. But for special occasions, the platform carried experimental ammunition designed by Earth's best scientists. The special round that fired toward the alien elite guard was not just a chunk of metal. It was a highly advanced penetrator that used microfusion technology to burn through even the strongest defenses. The alien guard ship's shields flared and died. Its armor melted like ice under a blowtorch. The ship's hull split open like a flower, spilling atmosphere and debris into space. The remaining elite guard ships tried to retreat, but more human vessels appeared to block their escape. Captain Moore's ESS Vengeance led a squadron of destroyers in a coordinated attack that left no survivors. Council Prime Veltara received the news of her elite guard's destruction with growing despair. These were her best ships, crewed by her most experienced warriors. If they could not stand against the humans, what hope did the rest of her fleet have? "Prime," came a desperate voice from her communication system. "This is Admiral Theknar of the 4th Battle Group. We are requesting permission to withdraw. We have lost 70% of our ships." Before Veltara could respond, another voice joined the channel. "This is General Mordeth of the 7th Fleet. We are also requesting withdrawal. The humans are using tactics we cannot counter." More voices joined in, all telling the same story. The Galactic Council's mighty armada was being torn apart by a species they had dismissed as primitive. Admiral Carter listened to the intercepted alien communications with grim satisfaction. The enemy was breaking. After 12 hours of continuous fighting, their morale was collapsing along with their fleet. "Admiral," called her communication officer, "we are receiving multiple surrender requests from individual alien ships." Carter considered this. Accepting surrenders would be the civilized thing to do. But these aliens had come to enslave or destroy humanity. They deserved no mercy. "Inform all surrendering vessels that they will be escorted out of the solar system under guard," she decided. "Any ship that attempts to rejoin the battle will be destroyed immediately." It was a generous offer considering the circumstances, but Carter was not finished with the main alien fleet yet. "Signal all human vessels," she ordered. "Prepare for final assault. We end this today." The final battle began at dawn, Earth time. Admiral Carter had gathered her remaining ships into a coordinated attack formation. 62 human vessels moved together like a pack of hunting wolves, ready to finish what the aliens had started. The Galactic Council fleet was a shadow of its former self. Less than 800 ships remained operational from the original 3,000. Many of those were damaged and running low on ammunition. The perfect formation they had started with was gone. replaced by scattered groups of demoralized survivors. Fleet Commander Draktul stood on his burning bridge, watching his fleet fall apart. Half his command staff was dead or wounded. His flagship was held together by emergency repairs and sheer willpower. "Sir," gasped his communications officer, "Council Prime Veltara is requesting immediate conference with all remaining fleet commanders." Draktul nodded wearily. "Put her through." The holographic image of Veltara appeared, but she was barely recognizable. Her crystal form was cracked and dim, missing entire sections. When she spoke, her voice was filled with defeat. "Fellow commanders," she began, "we must face the truth. We have lost this battle. The humans have proven stronger than we anticipated." "Stronger?" roared Admiral Theknar from his own damaged ship. "They are using primitive weapons against our advanced technology." "How is this possible?" Council Prime Veltara's image flickered as another explosion rocked her command ship. "Because we underestimated them. We thought superior technology would guarantee victory. We were wrong." Captain Rachel Moore led a squadron of human destroyers toward the alien flagship. Her ship, the ESS Vengeance, had been fighting for 15 hours straight, but showed no signs of slowing down. The nanite repair systems had fixed every piece of damage almost as quickly as it occurred. "All ships, this is Moore," she transmitted to her squadron. "Target the alien command vessel. End this war." The human ships attacked with precision and overwhelming firepower. Railgun rounds and missiles converged on Veltara's flagship from 6 different directions. The alien ship's shields collapsed under the assault and its hull began to break apart. Council Prime Veltara felt her ship dying around her. Emergency lights flashed red as systems failed one by one. The deck tilted beneath her feet as the artificial gravity began to fluctuate. "Prime," called her tactical officer, "we have lost main power. Life support is failing. We must abandon ship." Veltara looked around at the ruins of her command center. This ship had been the pride of the Galactic Council, a symbol of their dominance over the galaxy. Now it was becoming a tomb. "Signal the human fleet," she ordered with what remained of her dignity. "Tell them we wish to discuss surrender terms." The transmission reached Admiral Carter on the bridge of the ESS Defiance. She listened to the alien's broken voice with mixed feelings. Victory was within reach, but the cost had been enormous for both sides. "Council Prime Veltara," Carter responded. "This is Admiral Carter. I am prepared to discuss the immediate withdrawal of all alien forces from human space." "Withdrawal?" Veltara's voice cracked. "Admiral, we came here to conquer your species. Now we can barely escape with our lives. What happened to us?" Carter's reply was calm and measured. "You made the mistake of thinking that advanced technology makes you superior warriors. You forgot that wars are won by determination, adaptability, and the will to fight for what you believe in." Throughout the alien fleet, ship commanders began broadcasting surrender messages. Some asked for safe passage home. Others requested medical assistance for their wounded crews. A few simply powered down their weapons and waited for human ships to escort them away. Captain Steve Walsh received surrender from 3 alien cruisers near Saturn. As his ship approached to accept their surrender, he was amazed at the damage they had sustained. Great holes had been torn in their hulls by railgun fire. Their once mighty weapons were twisted metal ruins. "This is Captain Walsh of the Earth Defense Fleet," he transmitted to the alien ships. "Power down all weapons and prepare to be escorted out of the solar system." The alien response was immediate and humble. "We comply, Captain Walsh. We request medical assistance for our wounded." Walsh considered this. The humans had won, but they did not need to be cruel about it. "Medical ships are being dispatched," he replied. "Any vessel that attempts hostile action will be destroyed." Similar scenes played out across the solar system. The mighty Galactic Council fleet, which had arrived with such confidence 18 hours earlier, was now a collection of broken ships begging for mercy. Commander Alex Turner pursued the last group of alien warships trying to escape toward the outer planets. These were the fastest ships in the alien fleet, but they could not outrun human missiles. "This is your final warning," Turner transmitted. "Stop your ships and surrender, or we will open fire." The alien commander's response surprised him. "Human vessel, we surrender. We have no more fight left in us." Turner watched as the alien ships powered down their engines and weapons. The war was over. Admiral Carter stood on her bridge looking at the tactical display that showed the aftermath of the battle. Green dots representing human ships were scattered throughout the solar system. Red dots showing alien vessels were either gone or marked as surrendered. Final casualty report, she requested. 31 human ships lost, reported her tactical officer. Total crew casualties 412 dead, 618 wounded. Carter closed her eyes for a moment. Each number represented someone's son or daughter, husband or wife. The victory had come at a price. Alien casualties? She asked. Over 2,000 ships destroyed or disabled. Estimated crew losses in excess of 50,000. The numbers were staggering. The Galactic Council had lost more ships in 18 hours than humanity had ever built. Council Prime Veltara's final transmission came from an escape pod as her flagship exploded behind her. Her crystal form was barely holding together, but her voice was clear. Admiral Carter, I must ask you a question. How did a species that achieved spaceflight only 50 years ago defeat the combined might of 12 galactic civilizations? Carter's answer would be remembered throughout the galaxy for generations to come. Prime Veltara, you made the same mistake that many others have made throughout history. You assumed that being more advanced meant being better at war. But war is not about having the best technology. War is about having the will to use whatever you have more effectively than your enemy. She paused, watching the alien escape pods fleeing toward the edge of the system. For 50 years we knew this day would come. Every ship we built, every weapon we designed, every tactic we developed was created with one purpose: to defend Earth against superior foes. You brought advanced technology to this fight. We brought determination. The escape pod carrying Veltara drifted silently for a moment before she responded. We will not make this mistake again, Admiral. The Galactic Council will remember this day. See that you do, Carter replied. And remember this as well. Humanity does not seek war, but we will not hesitate to defend ourselves. Leave us in peace, and we will leave you in peace. Threaten us again, and the next time there will be no survivors. As the last alien ships limped out of the solar system, news of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy. The species that had been dismissed as primitive had shattered the confidence of the most powerful alliance in known space. Other alien civilizations watched the recordings of the battle with new respect and growing fear. If the mighty Galactic Council could be defeated so completely, what did that mean for the balance of power in the galaxy? The humans had sent a message that echoed across 1,000 worlds. Earth was defended by warriors who would never surrender, never retreat, and never accept defeat. The galaxy would never again make the mistake of underestimating humanity. Council Prime. Veltara's final report to the surviving members of the Galactic Council was simple and devastating. Recommendation: immediate establishment of peaceful diplomatic relations with the human species. Secondary recommendation: never under any circumstances threaten their homeworld again. The vote that had started the war was unanimous. The vote that ended it was even more so.